This is David Percival at Milton Rubis Superstore. We're continuing on our series of what your vehicle's worth, trade-in values. We're doing the whole series on how to figure out what my car's worth before I get to a dealership. Or just come by here and let me get and do it with you, and we'll figure it out together. So last week we talked about the different book values. And talking about the book values, we talked about Black Book and what that meant, NADA, what that meant, and Kelley Blue Book and what that meant. So we're going to continue on with that to figure out what is my car worth. Everyone likes to think there's a perfect science to it. There's not. It's a educated guess due with experience. So most of you used car managers in this area that I know of have been doing it for quite a while. I think I appraised my first car back in 1996, so I would think I have a little bit of experience at doing it. But what I did here is I pulled back a vehicle up that we looked at a couple weeks ago, the white Tacoma truck that we walked around. Did that together. If you recall, it had a dent in the back and it had some discoloration in the rear seat. So we'll bring this vehicle back up. What is this particular vehicle worth? Our wholesale value on the vehicle is $30,775. Clean trade-in would be $29,975. And now our Kelley Blue Book is $26,424. You're probably thinking, wow, that's a huge difference. If you go and look at a general Kelley Blue Book on this vehicle, it's going to tell you a trade-in's around 31. So what's different about it? So when you go into Kelley ICO, that's the instant cash offer from Kelley, what they'll buy the vehicle for. Number one, it moves us to the Southeast District. Number two, what it also does, it takes into account that big dent I showed you. It takes into account the spot in the back seat that I showed you. So we go back here and look at these values. Do we really think this vehicle is going to bring average condition money if we had to take it to the wholesale? Probably not. We know it has a huge dent in the back. We also know that that rear seat has that little stained area in it. So whoever's looking to buy that vehicle wholesale is also going to want to get and figure that into their mix. If we're trading the vehicle in, we're looking at NADA trade-in. Here again, can we call that vehicle in clean condition? Can we call it average? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say this particular vehicle at best is going to be rough condition. Now when you say rough condition, it's what you figure. There's something wrong with the vehicle that's going to take a major repair. My guesstimation, that repair on that particular vehicle is somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,200 to $1,400. Having the interior deep cleaned is still going to cost roughly $300, not counting the normal service stuff that we do, which would include changing the oil, changing all the filters to include that cabin air filter, putting new windshield wiper blades on the vehicle. These are things we do to all of our particular vehicles that we take in before we resell. Because when you purchase this vehicle as a pre-owned vehicle, the last thing you want to have to do is any basic services to the vehicle. It's supposed to be as close to new as possible. So this particular vehicle, there's a pretty large dent that we got to fix, and we got to have that inside shampoo. So with that being said, we move this down to rough condition. That drops that number to $27,550, which puts it a little more in line with what Kelley Blue Book says. We're not going to wholesale this particular vehicle. This is a vehicle we would want to keep and sell here. So we're really not going to play this a whole lot of attention. If we did, here again, we'd have to drop it down to rough. We'd have to figure in the condition, but there's not a reason to. So on this particular vehicle, I'm looking at here, $26,424, $27,500 on trade-in value. Retail on this vehicle should be somewhere around $32,600. We know anybody that comes in and we're asking $32,600 wants a discount, so we're going to figure selling the vehicle for roughly $30,000. So when you start playing with the math on this, real quick math, we'd like to make $1,000 on a used car. So if we got to sell it for somewhere in that 30 neighborhood, we take $1,000 off of that for profit, makes it $29,000. We know we got $2,000, so let's figure $2,500 in actual monies to fix it. That actually puts us back at that 26.4 scenario. So 26 and a half plus 2,500 puts us at 29. We make 1,000, sell it for 30. So that number becomes a very realistic number. But now what we have to do is weigh in the desirability of the vehicle. This is a Toyota Tacoma. In this area, Toyota Tacomas sell very well, very quickly. So this is going to be a vehicle that's going to move quickly. It's not going to be on the lot long. Do we have a little extra work to do on it? Yes, we do. So in this particular case, this is a vehicle we really want. So in it being a vehicle we really want, I'm going to go with the higher of the two numbers. So this particular vehicle, we're going to turn around and we're going to say that reconditioning on it is going to be 2,500. And we're going to say your appraisal on this one is going to be 27.5. And that's kind of how we come up with it. So there's not a direct science, but as you can see with these numbers here, there is a reason to come to the appraisal. Like I said, this is a unique vehicle. It does have some damage, but there's a lot of cars that get traded in and has a little bit of damage. It's not that big a deal. Just got to get it fixed, make it right, and put it out front for sale. And whoever's buying this vehicle, when they come in and we disclose to them it has damage, of course they're going to want a little more aggressive price because of it. Here again, we're going to go with a higher number, mainly because this is a vehicle we know will not last long and will sell quickly. Go back to what I said back on, I guess we're doing week 4 now. Back in our very first video, the easiest way to do this though, come by the dealership. There's no charge to it. You can find me here pretty much any day open to close except for Tuesdays. Tuesdays I'm kind of in and out, hit or miss, but other than that, I'm pretty much here. Come in, let's look at the vehicle. Let's do it together. Let's walk around the vehicle. Let's see what KBB says. Let's see what I say. Let's see how we can get you the most for your trade-in. I'm David Percival, Milton Rubin Superstore. I hope to see you soon.